All right, all right, all right. Transparency in the chair, let me tell you, has nothing to do with hair, but stories that derive from the chair.
My name is Rae. My co-pilot is Kay. We are two hairstylists with over 50 years of combined industry experience, ownership, platform artistry, salon education, and mentorship. We are both two sages that have stories to tell.
All right, and you know how juicy it can get. It could be any chair. Think about any chair that you sit on. There's a story in the chair.
With authentic and transparent moments, we are bringing you the juice to you, along with our perspectives, of course.
This is what we're bringing to you every week with confidence and knowledge and nuggets that you will leave this podcast with so much inner feelingness, so much knowledge, so much power, empowerment. So tune in every week and we're going to drop the nuggets on you with special guests from time to time. So don't miss out. Join in to Transparency in the Chair.
Like, he outside doing something in the yard. He ain't going to stop. I said, hey. You go out there and say, hey, Mike, I was going to cook dinner for the family, but I don't have any bow tie pasta. I said, I guarantee you. She was like, for real? I said, go try it. She left me on the phone. Yeah, she went outside. She was like, Mike, and she said, I was going to cook for the, because at first she was like, oh, man, I got to put this mulch out. She was like, but I was going to make dinner for the family. Oh, well, how many bags you need? But I was like, she was like, Mama, how did you know that? I said, listen, you just got to know.
What that song called? Special delivery.
It's like, it's all in the delivery.
It changed the game when it was for the family, but it was for you. Oh, girl, I got to do this mulch.
And that's using that femininity.
Right.
It's using it.
You're still a dominant.
You're still being
but
the
then you're
Jonathan was
being
like, oh, yeah, because I would
He
have
brought that Parmesan cheese too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because then he was like, babe, what else you need? Babe, what do you need?
I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it. So
Yes.
when you read the videos and the women, like we just watched a few videos describing the alpha, and you can see in most of the videos the men are very like with it.
Yeah.
So I think because they don't want a woman being so aggressive with them,
Yeah,
and that's not how you win the male.
that's not.
You
that's
win
not.
Or anybody, period, for that
Period.
matter. Yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously.
But it's funny though, because when we get in positions of authority, sometimes the women they say, "Oh, you're not aggressive enough." You know, you know, it's mixed.
Yeah.
Because you get in,
man.
well, you know, you got to come with them real firm. You got to be strong. You got to
Yeah.
do this. You got
For
to do
people,
that.
in order for people to respect you, you got to do this.
Yeah, but in
you
what
gotta do
setting
that.
though?
Yeah,
I think it depends
they
on
want
the
you to put
setting.
on a masculine energy sometimes.
Yes.
You're right. It
Yeah.
does. It does. It dictates it. And then when you don't do it sometimes, when it comes into your
Right. Oh, she's
personal life, they consider you weak.
Yeah.
And
So
then
for
they
sure.
and they try to run over you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Isn't that something else?
It
So
is.
depending on the
at
spaces
right.
in. Yeah.
Definitely at work.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. If you're the boss, you definitely got a boss.
Oh, definitely.
You know, you
yeah.
got to bring the verbal, the tone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the look me in my eye.
Right.
I'm here.
Yeah, and you ain't got to
know?
be mean about it.
No.
It's just about like you said, the
You know?
tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I went to an award show, and a lot of the females in this event were being awarded.
Mhm.
And one thing I noticed that they brought it was two of them that were being awarded that brought their husbands forward to
Okay.
thank them for being the men that they are, because they said, I know it can be very difficult
Absolutely.
for
Wow.
me to be in the front
Wow.
and you're supporting me from the side.
Wow.
And I got a chance to have a personal conversation with her, and I said, well, how do you handle that at home? I know you shared that on stage. She said, because when I'm in authority out of my home, but when I come home, I take that authoritative hat off.
Yes, yes.
And I become that
absolutely.
soft feminine woman that
Right.
he needs.
Absolutely.
I know when to put it on, and I know when to take it off.
Yes.
That was some good wisdom right
No,
there.
for real. Right. And I think that's to answer the question again. That's how you can survive.
Balance
Like,
it.
you think about, like you said, Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Right.
Any power couple you see out there, if they are a power couple, 9 times out of 10, they're saying power couple because both of them are powerful in their own lanes,
Genres, yes.
genres, occupations,
Yes.
talents, or whatever. But the term power couple means that they are effectively coexisting
Right.
in the
Yeah.
same. Yes.
Yes. We
But
both they both win at that.
And
at
so
that
guarantee
time.
when they get
Absolutely.
home, the wife got to
So-
take the hat out. I mean,
Right. So we have a little equality there, you know,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
some women don't know how to turn it off.
Nope.
And that's real. But some men don't know how to
Right.
pick it up either.
They
Yeah.
sure don't.
Yeah.
You know?
They sure don't.
So, you know, you can't get mad. Like everybody knows within themselves if they're a leader or not.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
And if they have those qualities, because not everybody's made for that. You
Right.
know?
Right.
But when you do have that, knowing the space that you're in and knowing that, hey, you know what, I'm leading a team right now. So I got to put my head on, even when I don't want to.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I have to do that in order to get the respect level that I need and to get stuff done. You
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
Right.
And so in that, I'm at home never do I ever want that. Ever, ever,
Right,
ever.
not in your home.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
not with your kid, there's still a certain role that you have to do
Right.
as
Mhm.
a mom. You know,
Right.
but for my son to also see the softer side, it can't be like the
Yeah.
because then that's what he thinks that women's supposed to look
Supposed to
like.
do.
His mate
Yes.
will be like that. You know,
Right.
and so we have to be careful with the examples that we're giving at the house,
Right.
at the work.
Yep.
You know, in our relationship with our friends.
Mhm.
You know, because then we have them friends who be like, she's so bossy. Oh God, here she comes. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes they be like, oh, she's
Right.
just a lot. You know, she's
Right.
just gonna tell you like blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
But you know,
Mhm.
Yes.
and yeah, so it's kind of like I guess you have to know when to turn it on and when to turn it off.
Yeah.
You know, but you can't help who you are.
Right. And so it's saying that since you brought up the kids, you know how you could tell if your kids are bossy, right?
Mhm.
So it's necessary to educate them at whatever age that is. I have I used to call Mackenzie the boss baby.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because even as a kid, at first I call her the bully. People told me stop calling her bully.
Mhm.
Stop calling her bully. That girl would walk up to her sisters and snatch their lollipop out their mouths and go by. I mean, I want that.
Gangster.
Gangster with it, right?
Mhm.
This is as babies, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, "Girl, you such a bully." So I said, "Let me stop putting in the atmosphere." So somebody said, "Call her. She's just a boss. She's just a boss." Dang. But putting those words in the atmosphere, kid just embodied that. Just like if you tell a kid, you ugly. Okay, after a while, they're going to start thinking, damn, I might be fucking ugly.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like putting that positive, and I try to put that positive connotation on the word boss.
Yeah.
Right.
Doesn't mean be bossy. It doesn't mean run your friends
Right.
off.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean, but you have those qualities. So let's hone into that.
Right.
So having said that, if you have a kid that tends to because I've seen kids play and one kid is pick that up, give me that. You got to pull that kid to the side. Listen, you don't want to run your friends off.
Right.
You
Mhm.
might see a better way to play this game, but you're being a little, you're
Yeah.
being a little mean with it. You're being a little
Mhm.
bossy with it. And so I would observe her playing and observe her with people when she's 15 now. But, I'm just saying, if you see a kid that has those same qualities, then I do think it's necessary to start teaching them early on so they won't grow up and just be this aggressive,
Right.
rah, rah, rah.
And
all
think
the
that
time.
that's the way to
Yeah,
go.
you have to teach them early.
Yes.
That's like,
That's
girl,
like
you ain't gonna have no friends.
Right. Because that's okay. Like in my prayer for him from he was born, I'm like, you're born to lead.
Right.
You will be a leader.
Yes.
You will be that. I feel like now watching him and his
Mhm.
friends and stuff, I'm like, he's a quiet leader.
That's
So
a quality in
yes,
itself.
because he observes a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but then he gets stuff done that he wants.
Yes, yes.
Even with his friends when they all went out, they were going to Asperl or whatever. And I was like, why y'all got all this black on? Because Kane told us we need to wear our blacks,
Girl,
so we
stop.
did. And I'm like, in this damn heat, I was like,
right.
son, what was you thinking
Yeah,
about? You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So it's like, yeah, because Kane asked us to do it.
And they
you
did
know,
it. And
right.
they did it.
So, but he's not loud, aggressive,
At
and
all, he's not.
he's like a quiet leader, you
Mhm,
know,
yeah.
and gets it done. I'm like, okay, I see this quality in you.
Mhm.
I continue to pray for him over and over again. It's not just being a dominant, but
Mhm.
being a leader. Because a leader knows how to follow as well as being a leader.
Right.
Yeah,
you know?
that's a perfect.
You know?
because you can't. If you don't know how to lead, you can't. If you don't know how to follow, you can't lead.
Right.
And so again, we're talking with this alpha female,
Mhm.
and there's too many social media
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a whole.
groups and people
oh,
that
yeah.
just feeding improper information, and you're taking the content out of the context, out of context.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
Because everything doesn't fit that whole that amount. It doesn't fit.
Right.
Mhm.
Like that amount you're giving me, that doesn't fit in this space.
Right.
It might fit in that space,
Right.
or it's always like a snippet of
Mhm.
something, and you take that one snippet
And
that benefits you or applies in your place, and you take that and you run with it.
Right.
And that's what I don't like. And we're getting fed that way. And you see a constant battle on social media of the male against the female.
Right.
It's
Oh,
just constant, and we need each other so much in this time.
yeah.
Right.
And that's what I think. And I know it's the powers, in my opinion, are constantly throwing that down our throats.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Male, the woman, I'm not doing this for the woman. What the woman bringing to the table? She ain't bringing nothing to the table. And I'm like, where did that mindset even come from?
Right.
A male makes the table or establishes the table to bring his woman, and I too, and because she has a particular role.
Right.
Same way you have a board, you have different people at the board. You got the owner, the vice president, you got the
Right.
shareholders.
Mhm.
Everyone plays
Their
a
part.
specific and strategic role. Is no one role greater than the next, because you need all that dynamics there to make you
To be
successful.
cohesive.
Right.
Yeah, to be
Absolutely.
cohesive, be successful.
Mhm.
So it's just everything has been constantly thrown on our throats about being the male against the female, the this or that, and it's causing a huge disconnect
Yeah.
with the family structure.
I agree. I
Mhm.
agree. And then also teaching women, well, you don't need a man anyway.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. You may not,
But you do.
but you
Yeah.
kind of do.
You kind of did.
A woman cannot be a woman without a man, and a man cannot be a man without a woman.
Right.
It's centered that way, and it's funny even when you watch nature,
Yeah.
they still submit to that law and that structure. The lion is the lion, but he know when he want to mate with the queen of the
Right.
Yeah.
the lioness, he
Yeah.
has to do certain things, and
Exactly.
he still has to be the provider, the protector. She goes out still and do her hunting. She stays in her role. He stays. They'll never see the lioness like move over, king. I'm something
Right,
meatier or
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You see that with nature, but I don't know where this biggest disconnect is always existing with us now. We're greater than all of that, and we just got it all screwed up.
I think,
Right.
I think it kind of started with the whole feminist movement.
True.
You know what
true,
I'm
true,
saying? And I get it. Equal pay. I get it.
Right.
'Cause
And
we are dogged out in the workplace, corporate,
Yes.
and in our
but
industry.
but
they will
more
pay a
than
man a
women.
lot more.
More and more women are making more than men now.
Yeah,
you know?
they are.
So
They
then
are.
that's not a good feeling for some relationships.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. But I mean, even I mean, like the same position.
Mm-hmm.
We have the same position. We have the same educational background. We have the same experience. We have the same qualifications. But the man will get paid more than the woman.
Of course.
Because the male is supposed to be the provider.
Yes.
He's supposed to be the protector, so he has to be a degree above to provide.
Yes.
And that's the way I believe, even though it's a very outdated,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
outdated.
Yeah.
However,
But I get it.
that's the family, how the structure is.
Right.
You know, it's supposed to be,
Right.
but we're just so off where the male is not present at home, and it's just a lot of
A lot of the female has to
disconnect.
carry.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of chaos
yeah,
going
yeah,
on
yeah.
right now in the
Right.
structure
Everything is
of the
backwards.
family. It's very, very factor.
Yeah.
And these type of podcasts and everything is just adding more and more flame, in my opinion, to the fire,
Mhm.
Okay.
where it's just not helping us. But this one is not.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, I was like, wait.
Yeah,
No,
but
I'm
now
talking
you're-
about the ones
when
that
you're getting the wrong
constantly-
information.
You're getting the
Yes.
wrong information. I
Yes.
think we're striving to be very balanced in this conversation.
Yeah,
It's,
absolutely.
we talking about the alpha female, the alpha male, the roles,
Mhm.
how they're supposed to be governed,
Mhm.
and how to create success, and also bringing up areas where we had to improve in and learn
Right.
from. So it's
That's
Yeah,
just
because I had
balance.
to learn that. Because my mom, my parents were married till I was 9. I want to say they got divorced when I was 9. So I experienced having both parents in the household, and I experienced having a single parent household.
Right.
And my mama was working her butt off
Yeah.
to make sure we had,
Yeah.
and my dad was still present. I, get my little weekend visits and all that stuff, and he was, I'll say donating, contributing, donating,
Yeah.
Because some don't.
Contributing.
to the household. He was
Because
still
some don't
contributing
do
and
it. They
everything.
be like, no.
But I definitely saw the difference. I definitely saw the difference. And my mother was an alpha woman too. You know what I'm saying? And I learned a lot of those. Like, you got to get it. You got to get it.
Yeah.
But
But-
they knew too to
but it
be
was still the
softer.
respect.
They were more
Right.
softer.
Yeah.
though.
That's
I
what
never
I'm
forget when
saying.
my court mate came over for dinner and he met my mom, and I put his food. I secured his food because he came late, and I put it on a paper plate. My mother was
What?
like,
She
"Girl,
lost it?
you never feed your man on no paper plate."
I know that.
She made
That's
me go
old
take
school.
that
I
plate
know that's
back
right.
inside that kitchen and put it
Yes.
on a nice.
Presentation. I know that's
It's
right.
key.
But I humbled
Listen.
myself. I could have been like, "Oh my, whatever."
That's
Yeah.
just the wash.
No, that
Yeah.
was a teachable moment for me. So she
Right.
said, when you present your meals to your man, you bring it to him appetizing. You don't put it on a paper plate. So that's
Come
something
on.
that's going to stick with me. And if you studied our mothers, it wasn't, even when they did go out of the house, they still took pride in being in the home.
Mhm.
Right.
Not as her place, but it's her base. Because we know when we're in the
Come on,
home,
the
we
place, the
effectively
base.
run it properly,
Right.
in contrast to a male.
Yeah.
And it's not, you have some men that have very stepped up in those spaces where they are able to do the laundry, but that's not something they desire. We
Right.
like certain fresheners on our clothes. We
Right,
like it to
right.
be put
Yeah.
a certain way. We like the kitchen to look a certain way. We like because when we host people over, we want the ambiance.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I love Kay or her man. He be hooking up that garden work because he feels more manly in that
Yeah.
space.
That's the home.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's his.
yeah.
He like,
the
yeah,
curb appeal.
the curb appeal. That's
Yeah.
a masculine. I'm
Yeah.
lifting bags. I'm
Yeah.
chucking dirt.
Yeah.
That's that's
Yeah.
not something I want to do.
Yeah. Right. No, you might have. You might
Let me
not.
fluff up these pillows.
Let me stir this stew over here.
Right.
Let me put a nice rug hug down. So, but look at the harmony it brings, you know. But I guess, like I said earlier, I think we have a wonderful spaces that we are as women and male, and if we focus on how to be greater in those spaces, that's why being single has its advantages. Like we see like women, they want to get married and men want to get married as well. But when you're single, you're able to accomplish a lot more of your own personal goals.
Right.
And I tell my girlfriends, like, when a man chooses you, he's not just choosing you because you're cute.
Right.
He's choosing you for a particular reason to be his wife.
Right.
It's certain obligations because he could choose anyone, but he chose you. You were chosen for a reason. Not that you're better than I am. You're a better choice for what he wanted.
Jonathan?
Right.
That's spot on.
Spot on? All right.
Because it could be where you might want a wife that's, you know, more quiet, more to herself. You might want someone to be more just loud and not even in a bad way, but just more out there in their personality. Right. And some guys like that. Someone more reserved. So to her point, we have our particular traits that we like.
Right.
On there. Yeah, I
Deal
agree.
breakers.
Yeah,
And when you and that's why when they choose you, it's very important that you understand why you're chosen, and you try to compliment why stay in that space.
Right.
Well, why you chose it, it's like it's a lot sometimes because sometimes we too can lose ourselves when we get in the relationship.
Right.
It still be who you are, but know you were chosen for a certain role.
Right.
With that male.
Exactly. So know when to fold and know when to step it up.
All right, Kenny Rogers.
Yes.
Know when
No,
to go.
yes, seriously. Like even in friendships, there's that. You might have a room full of alpha females. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So can that work in friendships as well? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we demonstrate that beautifully right now.
Okay.
Right, because everybody knows their strengths and they stay in their life.
Because I was about to say, so another advantage of an alpha female, since they're confident and they're sure of themselves, if there was a disagreement, that same person should be strong enough within themselves to come and say, hey,
you know what?
I didn't like the way you passed me that pickle last night.
Right.
She said,
right.
You kind of threw it at me and I ain't like it.
I felt your energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like that.
So how we going to do this next time? Because I don't like when you throw me pickles. Can you hand it to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've experienced that with
right.
Kay on several occasions. And I love how she always use Rochelle. She's the buffer sometimes.
What?
No, but that's wisdom. That's wisdom. It's when you love someone, you learn how to handle them. Because the objective is to bring the peace.
And love.
Absolutely.
So if she knows she can come to you and you can say something to me and it helps the situation, that's just being wise. Yeah. How to handle the person you love.
Yeah, because I've given people plenty advice on friend. I'm like, listen, if you can't talk to your friend, that might not be your friend.
Right.
If you can't go to your friend and express, hey, X, Y, and Z, or they don't understand you as a person,
right,
then that's a bigger problem.
Yeah.
That might not be your friend.
Right.
Or that might not be a good candidate for your best friend or whatever title you done put on
right.
it. Because y'all don't understand each
not
other.
A friend.
Yeah, because y'all don't understand each other at the grand scheme of things anyway.
Right.
So, that a whole other lot of stuff comes into play, your maturity and da-da-da-da. But at the grand scheme of things, if that's your friend and you calling it your friend, then y'all should be able, as alpha women or whatever, to come to the table and have that mature discussion about
X, Y, and Z.
X, Y, and Z.
But communication is really, and I know I listened to your last podcast when you dealt with, you talked about the relationships and intimacy, and we talked a lot in that space about communication, and that's it's really. We have lost that art.
It's a lost art.
Yeah,
it's a lost art.
Well, one, we texting everybody.
Yes.
Instead of talking to them.
A lot of things get lost in translation.
Or we ghosted them. Yeah. Or, you know what I'm saying?
And people are more emotional now, so you have to think 2, 3, 4 times before you want to
say something.
Because
everybody got anxiety. Everybody got anxiety.
We're very emotionally charged, and we don't deal with truth, and we like when it's something of opinion, we don't listen to facts. We listen to opinions that fit our narrative. And it doesn't help us. But when we communicate properly and just say, well, I like this and I like that, and you guys showed that in that podcast, telling your mate what you need, what you don't, what you like, and you don't, and also just be gentle in the reminder of it. But some things you could tell your husband or your mate, babe, I really don't like when you do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they just conditioned to respond that way. So you got to help them with their level of maturity to get there too. And then you got to have, and love has patience with it as well.
Yes.
I agree. So you got to, like, sometimes you got to mind love is sweet. It's all those things. And and it's always going to be a struggle in some areas. However, but when you overcome them and you see the greatness that comes at the end, it's such a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
And sometimes we give up quickly.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm done with it. Nah, it's not gonna work for me. And then the same dynamic exists in the next relationship.
Exactly.
The irony.
Right.
Look, been there.
Right.
Oh, me too.
Me too.
No, for real.
All right. So how do we spot? How do you know if you're an alpha woman? For our listeners and viewers, if you don't know, this is how you can figure it out.
Okay.
One,
Fact checker.
a fact checker.
Mm.
An alpha woman is confident.
Yes.
That's a given.
Self-assured.
Self-assured. An alpha woman is balanced.
Yes.
Okay, so they go into further explanation. An alpha woman works hard, but she also knows how to relax and recharge her energy levels. Well, we don't really know how to relax.
Mm.
But
I mean, we give it a good go, though.
yes.
But the true, we talked about that later. She maintains a healthy balance and is constantly moving forward. That's definitely us.
Yes.
An alpha woman is not a pushover
Amen.
at all. An alpha woman can accept criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. Because she's always looking to grow.
Yes.
An alpha woman does not compete with others. Come on with it.
Right.
An alpha woman isn't intimidated. She is smart. She has the best intentions.
Mm.
An alpha woman manages stress. I could work on that.
Okay.
An alpha woman is a motivator. She accepts failure and she lives with no regrets. Now that I'm a firm believer everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
Right.
If a series of things in my life, if they break down, like the vacuum cleaner broke down,
Right.
well, I'm like, oh, that's just prepper. I'm about to be blessed.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? No regrets. Everything happens for a reason. I
Mhm.
went through things in life to prepare me for today. So yeah, I can agree with that.
My
Yeah.
son, because my son gave me this book. I'm reading it right now. Well, I like audibles. I like to listen to my books.
Me too.
Right.
It's called The Confident Mind by Dr. Nate Zinzer, and I'm listening to that book right now.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I'm grasping from it is about our thought pattern, how we think.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying, like, with confidence, it's basically being in those spaces where when you know something and you want to do something that you're not so conscious on it, that you're doing it like it's so natural.
Right.
That helps build the confidence. I'm paraphrasing
Yeah.
a bit of his quote. And so I know when we're in these spaces as women, just be confident. We're not going to always get it right, but we can, we are not going to be right, but we can get it right.
Right. Yeah.
There's going to be areas where we falter, we make mistakes, but you have to have enough patience and confidence in yourself that I can do better moving forward. It's like it's a mindset.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
if you go in saying every day waking up, I can conquer the world, I'm going to be successful, instead of focusing so much on the doubts, which we do a lot, or issues we have had in the past, or misfortunes. Sometimes we put too much energy in those spaces.
Absolutely.
And then we wonder why the days seem a little bit more tiresome. And like you just said, too, even in the bad moments, you still got to be confident that you can come out of it.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Instead of just leaning on the worst part. Because if we settle on the better part of ourselves first, it helps us, it will enable us to settle on better parts in every aspect of our life. And
like
it'll
that.
help us get out of it,
Yeah.
and be better.
I like that. Somebody needed to hear that.
I hope so.
No, for real. That was good. That was good.
That was super good.
That was
Yeah,
good.
so
I like
praise
that.
God.
Mhm.
Giving God some praise.
Yeah.
Pastor,
Amen.
senior pastor.
Yes. No, really. So, we want to break away from the negative connotations of alpha female.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's not bad.
It's
It's
not.
just leadership.
And
it's self-assurance,
Yeah, I
confidence.
was gonna agree with exactly what you said because anytime I would hear that word, it was always, and to your point, like that media feeding of like, oh, you just angry.
Yeah.
Yes.
But breaking it down like that, you're like, oh, it's just
It's not
a
so
person that's just a leader.
Yeah.
Like, leadership qualities.
Yes.
That doesn't mean being evil or mean or something like
Right.
that.
Right.
Just possessing leadership.
Right.
Right.
Directives and all.
Well, we don't define anything. We base it how it's affecting us emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it would never. I can never ever take your place.
Mhm.
Never.
And
No
they
matter
trying to.
no matter if, how hard I try. If I even got a full change, I got rid of everything.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be able to be who you are. And guess what? You will never be able to be who I am
That's
either.
right. That part.
And
who I am.
I am who I am, and I'm designed this way for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my last point on it. I'm designed this way to help you be better and you're designed your way to help me be better.
Absolutely.
And we have to put that back. Like, we need each other. And if we keep thinking that we don't, we're going to still keep going down this rabbit hole further and further, and the disconnect, and more generations going to be going to make the condition, because the family structure is so important. And that's how you know it's a strong nation, because the family is strong. That structure is placed, the mother, first, God or Christ, and then the father, the mother, the children. That paradigm has to be put in place. And when it's not, we see it in the condition now. It's not healthy.
Right. Just like on the last show when Rick said, I love my kids, but they're not more important than my marriage.
Right.
There's a hierarchy, and that's scripture
right.
too.
Yeah. Very much so.
Yeah.
It's a structure.
In place for a reason.
That's right.
Yes, it governs us. Everything has to go under a law. It's called the law of gravity. Imagine if that wasn't in place.
Right.
We'll fall.
Everything,
Literally,
it's designed for a reason. But when you remove it, you're going to see how catastrophic it will be.
Absolutely.
So we need to always remember everything is governed by a law that's going to make us successful.
Yeah.
And that's just basically it. I don't got to explain anymore.
No, that's what it is. That's what it is.
That's all she wrote.
That's it. That's all.
That's all she wrote.
So we learned something today.
We learned something today.
Yes.
Alpha women do not ever feel like, you
have
to change who you are to accommodate other people. They need to step up.
And don't dim your light.
Yes.
No.
Never dim the light.
Never dim your light.
And if a woman chooses to use that title, please know it is not to take your place. We can never take your place.
Right.
We're
As
just
a male.
striving to be confident in
as
ours.
As a
From the
male.
male.
Yes.
As a male, thank you. We're just striving to be more confident in our space.
Yes.
And we can better serve you when we're confident in our space.
Right.
We can better serve ourselves. We can better serve we can better serve our children, our communities,
Absolutely.
our families, all our support.
All
And continue
right.
to get shit done.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Get her
done.
And if you're
Hallelujah.
not an alpha and want to learn more about it,
I know, right? Can you become one?
yes.
Y'all
Just
funny.
get with people you see in leadership and let them help you in your journey.
Yeah, we all
To
need
be
help.
more self-assured, to be more confident, and to get the shit done.
That's right.
That's it. That's all.
That's it. And that's all.
Right. That's it. That's all, y'all.
All right. If you have a show idea, hit us up on transparencyinthechair@outlook.com by email, or go to our website, transparencyinthechair.hair. Until next time.
Deuces, peace, love, and hair
Thank you,
grease.
Khadijah, so
Love
much.
you. Thank you guys for having
You
me.
were
Greatly
amazing.
appreciate it. Hope you'll be back.
Thank you for the nuggets.
As I said, we're signing out.
Yes.
Peace.
That was a good show. Yeah, straight right to the point.
If you want to be on the show or you have a show idea, email us at transparencyinthechair@outlook.com, or you can visit our website at transparencyinthechair.hair. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok, but watch our full episodes on YouTube. Transparency in the Chair, y'all. Let's get transparent.
Mask play when I on the flow. Gal bend over and touch the toe. Everybody don't know the flow. Party turn up and turn over. Over and over, over. Listen, hug up a friend.